Welcome to Backstage with Richard Ridge, two of the greatest voices, Michael Ball and Alfie Boe, who are known to theater audiences around the world from such shows as Les Misérables and Phantom of the Opera, are bringing their concert to New York City Center for one night only on May 23rd. Their double platinum album, Together, was the top-selling UK release of 2016, and I caught up with them here at the beautiful Mont Blanc 52 a day before the big event.
There's a place for us, somewhere a place for us, peace and quiet and open air, wait for us somewhere. There's a time for us, someday a time for us, time together with time to spare, time to learn, time to care, someday, somewhere.
Well, first off, welcome to New York.
Oh, it's lovely to be back.
Thank you.
How excited are you to be here?
I'm loving it. I love New York. Love my time here on Broadway. It was fantastic. So every time I come back, it's
Me
beautiful.
too, and lovely to be with my mate as well. It's kind of a perfect little trip.
Sure.
One of the first of many, I hope.
Oh, this is going to be the first of many.
I hope so.
How excited are the two of you? You're getting to do your U.S. concert, your only U.S. concert right now, here tomorrow night at City Center.
Sort of perfect. We recorded the album here last year, and we were a bit further downtown, and we'd look up, and it was in August, so the heat and the steam, and looking up at Broadway and going, wouldn't it be great if we got to do a gig here?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we have arrived. So it's brilliant. And
But the whole album has a real connection to New York,
Yeah.
because we did record it here, and it has that certain feel about it.
it's so exciting. I hope people will come and enjoy it and share our excitement, because we are really excited.
Well, your fans in the States, especially the ones at BroadwayWorld, are so excited about tomorrow night. What can they expect? What kind of songs are you doing?
Well, songs that really sort of lend themselves to our voices. We went through quite a lengthy process to get the repertoire list together, but we chose songs that suit each other's, that work to our best abilities, basically.
Yeah.
And there's a number of songs out there that are obviously from the musical theatre world, and that we've performed ourselves or recorded ourselves, but putting them together with our two voices have made it very, very special and unique.
And then also, because we've got the stuff from the album that we're doing, but that doesn't make an entire concert. So we've got a few surprises thrown in there, a few little genres of music that we love that maybe people wouldn't have instantly thought we'd do.
Michael's dancing.
My dancing.
People hate.
People can't wait.
I mean, I turned down Cats to be doing this with you. Just think yourself lucky.
You can get in the lycra.
There wasn't enough, was it? It's very unforgiving, lycra. Really unforgiving.
We're glad you're wearing a suit tomorrow.
So am I.
Well, congratulations on your double platinum album.
Isn't it
Together.
ridiculous?
I mean, 6 weeks you became the top-selling album of 2016.
I know.
Right?
Christmas number. I mean, we started the tour of the UK on the day that the album was released, and it seemed like every day we were going out to these amazing audiences who were loving the show, and every day some new little statistic would come in about the album, and it didn't stop until Christmas. It just kept rolling, and
It's still
all of
going.
this, it is, and all of this just came from an idea. There was no master plan. It was, we've known each other 10 years.
Yeah.
We get on really well, and we said, well, let's do a couple of concerts together, and that turned into the record, turned into the TV special, turned into all these different things, and that's been the beauty of it, that it's been very organic. It hasn't been planned. It wasn't a master plan or anything. It just gathered steam and rolled on, and we've enjoyed doing it so much. We've laughed so much. It's good. It's nice to know you've got someone on stage with you who's got your back.
So I was going to ask you, what do you admire the most about each other?
His hair.
I do too, actually.
Yeah.
Both of yours.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so sweet of you. And he looks like Captain America. I mean, look at this. Feel these guns. It's ludicrous. And I've never known anyone eat more in my life. You do. You have 6 meals a day. I put the weight on. What's going on?
Totally.
Hate him.
It's
Hate
true.
him.
But no, Michael's it's great to see Michael on stage, and it's great to share the stage with him. He's got a fantastic voice, sort of alright personality.
Whoa.
Needs a bit of work on that.
Very shy.
You know, very shy.
Very, very shy.
You know, and he can talk like crazy.
I do talk.
His introductions for songs go on for like 10 minutes a piece.
Actually, I watched the concert back the other day.
Yeah.
I was on Sky and I was
Yeah.
watching it. I haven't seen it since I'd done it. And I do go on.
You really do.
I think that every song needs this sort of 10-minute justification
And
for
also,
singing it.
Sometimes some of the songs have lovely musical intros.
Yeah.
He's talking over the top of them, completely ruining this fantastic.
I don't think I'm ruining it. I'm actually
by guessing
adding
away.
to it.
Enhancing it.
Thank you. But you see, I have a radio show.
Yeah.
I have a radio show. You may know.
You're not on radio, are you?
No,
When you're on
yes,
TV, when
but
you're
what
on
one
stage?
does
You don't-
is one talks over the
Yeah,
intro,
but you- on
and then
radio,
and
that's
you build the
fine.
anticipation underneath this. It's called underscoring,
On radio.
and then you go into the song.
You have a brilliant face
You have
for
a-
radio.
oh.
But the
You've
thing
so
is,
much
is
to
when
learn
you're on
about show business.
stage, let the music speak, and let the audience enjoy the music. Shut the hell up.
Listen to that. I sound so
Just
lovely.
say, this is the next song we're going to sing.
Oh.
It's brilliant. Enjoy it.
So the
And that's
musical
it.
director vamps a little more, right?
Yes.
We call it vamping here, right?
A till ready.
His
I
fingers-
like a till
By the end of
ready.
that, his fingers are bleeding by the time Michael's
Totally.
finished.
Right, I'm not saying a word tomorrow. Then
you go.
you can do the whole thing. I'm not speaking. I'll just
The show will
sing.
be half an hour shorter.
Well, we could be in the bar quickly, couldn't we? Something, yeah, good move.
So, what did you meet doing? What was the show?
Prison.
Oh, yes,
No.
it felt like prison. We did Kismet.
Yeah.
Have you ever revisited Kismet?
Yes.
I mean, really, and it shouldn't be done again, should it? I have so many stories about this.
It was crazy.
Oh, it was a terrible production at the ENO.
Yeah.
It didn't help that, first of all, the show, as we know, is set in Baghdad, which we were bombing at the time. So it was. So they opened the show. Director had this great idea. You'd have this beautiful overture. I mean, the music is stunning,
yeah.
absolutely stunning, with the ENO orchestra and absolutely. And then after the overture, you hear the sound of bombs and gunfire, and on he comes. And bear in mind, it's set 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
On he comes in full army uniform with an AK-47, going, "It's hell out there." And the
ridiculous.
wazir goes, "Yes, the history of Baghdad is one of turmoil. Come back 1,000
We
years."
refused to do that scene. We cut that scene out. It was
Wow. Yeah, I
absolutely
mean,
awful.
really.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking about, but it was.
In those situations, you either crumble and
Yeah.
run away, or you go, "Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Let's just have fun." And that's what we did.
Pretty much pulled together.
Yeah. And we, it was. I remember seeing Cameron McIntosh.
Yeah.
We were at I've never had a drink before a show in my entire life, but there was this function and I had one or two. And I said, "Cameron, you have to come and see this show," because he loves bad shows.
Sure.
So along he came and he went, "Darling, I've seen some shit in my time, but this is the best." He absolutely, it was genius.
Well, at least you got a few laughs out of it.
We did,
Oh, yeah.
And you made Cameron laugh.
Oh, he was, it's still his favourite.
Oh, I love this. I want to go back to the beginning. Growing up, what were your earliest creative outlets, and where did your love for performing begin for each of you?
I was lucky. My dad wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
My mum's side of the family all Welsh, so we were surrounded by music all the time. And Dad used to take us to the theatre all the time. I remember going to see Sir Donald Sinden in King Lear, directed by Trevor Nunn, at the RSC before we were taught Shakespeare at school. So I suddenly realised I loved it. And I was always involved in school plays, and it may come as a shock to hear I wasn't that sporty. And so while everyone was kind of doing cross-country running, I was running the Music Appreciation Society, because you could sit down doing that. So I was just taken to the theatre. The first musical I saw was Jesus Christ Superstar in the West End with my dad, and it literally changed my life. knowing that you could tell stories and have that much of a communication with an audience through music.
Yeah.
And there was never any idea that I would do anything else other than perform.
I love it. Alfie, for you.
For me,
Did you actually nod off then?
I did.
turned round and you were like,
I was drooping.
He's heard this story before.
Yeah. For me, I started singing when I was about 14 years old, because I fancied a girl that went to this amateur operatic society, and I wanted to go out with her, and so I joined. She didn't go out with me, but I got hooked on singing, and I enjoyed it. And then I went and got a job as an apprentice body mechanic in a car factory, and it wasn't until I was there really that I got the urge to perform again, and I was singing around the factory, singing along to the radio, that this guy who was buying a car from the place said, "You've got a good voice, you should try and make it professional." And he told me about a company in London that were auditioning for ensemble members for their next UK tour. It was the Doyley Car.
Sure.
The Doyley Car. So it was all Gilbert and Sullivan.
sorry, time's up.
So I took the day off.
There's a time limit on anecdotes.
No, it's
And it was
still not as
really
long
good.
as yours.
Oh,
But there's,
I love this.
we could go on for days.
Yeah.
But anyway, I took the day off work, went down to London, sang for this company, and they took me on as an ensemble member, and that was the start of my career, really.
That's great.
And it was never looked back.
You both have these vast careers, so I want to go through some of the highlights, all right? And just tell me what comes to mind, a story or a memory.
Right.
Let's start off with Les Mis for both of you. What impact did that show and Cameron McIntosh have on your careers?
For me, to be at the very start of what is the extraordinary phenomenon of Les Mis, to be there in the room as the whole thing is being created. When we started rehearsals, it was only 3/4 written, possibly even less than that. And we had a 12-week rehearsal period. And to form this bond with this company, I've never known anything like it before or since. And to go out in front of an audience, to get the worst reviews you've ever read in your life. In London, it had the worst reviews, and for Cameron to then say, "No, we're going to transfer it to the West End," because the people came. It was the people's musical. It was an extraordinary time.
I was introduced to Les Misérables only through the Amateur Dramatic Society that I was a member of, and we did songs from the shows, and one of them in particular that I sang was "Bring Him Home" at the age of 16. And I loved it. It was a great song. I loved singing it, but I'd never seen the musical. You know, we didn't really get the opportunity to go down to the West End, to go to London and see shows like that. So it wasn't really until I was asked to perform Jean Valjean at the 25th anniversary that I started to take it fully on board. And I'm actually glad that I did, because in the similar way to the way Michael was in the creative process for that, I wanted to have that experience too for the show, and I did go through that to an extent of developing the character myself and creating it and being involved in something very special, which was the 25th. And then Michael and the original cast joined us on stage at the end. It was a joy.
I've only ever seen the show once.
Are you serious?
Yeah, with him. The only time I've seen it.
Really?
Yeah, I felt I had to go. It's really good, isn't it? It's a really good show.
He was terrific.
I know,
right?
I know. Wait till you hear. Tomorrow, one of the nicest things on this tour is getting to sing. We've got Claude Michel to help develop this special Les Mis suite.
Yeah.
So we have Bring Him Home, we have Empty Chairs, we have a bit of a Dream to Dream and so on. And listening to him every night faultlessly. Singing that song, making it fresh every night, it's really annoying.
I have goosebumps already. I cannot wait for this suite tomorrow night.
And it ends with that note that goes on for a week and a half, which I'm trying to sing much lower than him and harmony. I can't hold that note. I do this great trick. I was taught it by one of the previous Valjeans, where you go, "Bring him Oh, oh my.
It's an acting moment, right?
And everyone thinks, oh my God, it's so delicate, I can hardly hear it.
Pity you don't adopt that when you're speaking. And, there you go.
Thank you.
I love that. Michael, Edna in Hairspray.
Yeah.
How much fun, yeah.
Best time I've ever had. I mean, I fought for that because I knew it was coming over. I went to a proper, I don't want to sound grand, but I haven't done sort of proper wait in the corridor with everyone else auditions. It's the first time I've done that since Les Mis. And, but I just was, having seen it originally here with Harvey doing it, I thought it was one of the greatest nights in the theatre I'd ever experienced. I was desperate to be part of it. And having got the part, the sheer joy in that rehearsal room, primarily because of what the creatives brought over with them. Jack O'Brien, Jerry Mitchell, Mark and Scott and Lonnie. I mean, it was the best experience. Every night, I've never known. We had an open dress rehearsal. We finished the tech 2 days early. It was that easy and that much fun. We finished the tech, we're going, well, what should we do? Let's put on an open dress rehearsal, see what we've got. Invited people, and from that moment, it was pandemonium every night. And the happiest I've ever been in a production.
That's great.
Oh, it's beautiful. And I'd love to do it again.
Yeah.
One day Edna will come back.
Come here and do her.
I would, well, you never know.
Yeah, totally.
You
We'll
never
put it out there
know.
to the fans here and the producers
You never
watching
know.
at BroadwayWorld. Yeah.
I still have the shoes and the boobs.
Good, all
I
right.
stole them. They're still there.
You need. That's good to keep.
Yeah.
Do you keep costumes?
Oh, yes,
Wait
absolutely.
until you see him tomorrow night.
Alfie, for you, Baz Luhrmann's La Boheme.
Oh my word, yeah, that was an incredible moment for me in my life. It was first time in New York, first time on Broadway.
How old were you?
I was 20, I can't remember.
You were little.
I was little.
Yeah.
Early 20s,
Early
yeah.
20s. But I'd just finished playing the role of Rodolfo in London at Glyndebourne on the festival. And then so to bring it here, to come here in a production that Baz originally did at Sydney Opera House, it was just incredible. I mean, the being on Broadway, having all those movie stars come and see you every night, it was spectacular, and I'd never forget it. It was a real turning point for my career.
Yeah. Michael, aspects of love.
Changing point of my entire life. First of all, because in the UK we had a big hit with Love Changes Everything before going into the show. Working on the show, originally we had Roger Moore
That's right.
as Uncle George, and he left the production just before we opened, so that the sort of focus changed a bit, and it opened up a complete new world for me and brought me over here and started my love affair with Broadway and with America. I can't tell you what a difference it made in my life. And I've sung that song every concert since, Love Changes Everything.
Sure.
It's kind of my theme tune. And, you're really lucky when something like that comes along.
Alfie, J.M. Barrie in Finding Neverland.
Oh, I love that show. I love the character, the music. Gary Barlow's music was incredible to sing. I remember being offered the job and them saying, "Don't worry about the choreography. It's not going to be a problem. It's all about the singing for you. We're going to refocus the show so it just focuses on." That was rubbish.
They lied.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the challenge was to sort of step into Matthew Morrison's shoes and take on that choreography. And he's a fantastic dancer.
I know. And guess what?
I'm not. But I sort of tried. Made a bit of a fool of myself, I think, but I loved it. I loved the challenge. I'm really glad you didn't see it.
Wish I'd seen the videos.
But it was
He was
great.
terrific. He was really good in that.
It was a wonderful character
Yeah.
to play. He's such a kid, and
Yeah.
I got to play a kid throughout the whole show, and to bring the guy life and fun and energy, and it was a wonderful role.
Yeah. Michael, for you, Sweeney Todd.
I mean, the perfect experience.
Yeah.
Greatest show. I've worked with Steve a lot, and had always hankered to do this. And I knew that I would never get a chance to do it. If they were doing it at the National Theatre or whatever, I wouldn't even be 5th, 6th, 7th choice in the line to do it, because people wouldn't see that. but on the back, luckily, on the back of Hairspray, enough interest had been generated that I could take the project to Chichester. I have a radio show on the BBC, so Imelda Staunton came in, and I said, "Do you want to be Mrs. Lovett?" And she went, "Yeah," and that's literally how it happened. So we put the show on, and it did so well in Chichester. We transferred to the West End. Nothing harder I've ever done. I mean, it is a mammoth task when you work with someone like Imelda Staunton. It's a bit like him, when they're that good, you have to up your game and you have to do it every night, but you do it as a team, you're supportive. And it was the most creatively fulfilling thing I think I've ever been part of. I'm truly blessed to have done it. And I got the idea for it here, seeing Patty and Michael Severus doing it. That's when I went and sat down and went, I really want to do this.
I want to do that role.
I want to do that role. Always happens here, I go and see things. So I'm going to see Waitress in a couple of days, so you never know.
Totally. You'll be making pies soon, right?
Yeah.
Alfie, Billy Bigelow, Carousel.
Oh wow! I think it was one of the most challenging characters that I've had to take on. He's such a concept personality, such a deep personality. Is to connect with the vibrancy of him at the beginning of the show and the arrogance and this bolshy strong character is very important, because for the rest of the show it's pretty damn miserable. It sinks so low, but then you connect with also an element of sympathy that he has for Julie, and he doesn't want to feel like this. He wants to get himself out of this hole that he's dug and feel energized again, feel like the old guy that he was. It's a lot of different layers with that guy, and it changes in a flash too. So you have to really be prepared for those changes and be ready to make them seamless. And a very, very cool character that I love to play.
They're monster roles, like Sweeney Todd's a monster role, Billy Bigelow is a monster role,
Yeah, they're big, and what do they all have in common? All these shows we do, it's the music, the storytelling through the music. And that's why they're still done now, because they're brilliant. They're brilliant, and they bring out the best in you as a performer. They challenge you on every level. You have to be able to command a stage. You have to be able to act. You have to be able to sing it, and you have to do it 8 times a week.
Sure.
And that's it's a tough ask. And when you do it and when you pull it off, there's no greater sense of satisfaction.
Now, I know you guys are leaving for rehearsal. I mean, you've come to New York. I mean, this is so exciting. You're doing your concert here. Yeah. We cannot wait. How exciting! What are you looking forward to the most with doing it here?
The audience for me.
Yes, absolutely. I was about to say that. Well, I mean, I'm going to be really, I can't say the rude word because it's wrong, but I'm going to be nervous at the start. So it's I can't wait to get out there to gauge what the audience is going to be like, because we might walk out and they'll be, oh, how sweet.
Yeah.
And, I'm very polite. I really hope that. Because what you do is you feed off the energy of an audience. And we had such a great time in the UK.
Yeah.
New York had better step up.
I think
New Yorkers step up. They do, right?
We need to worry about that. New York always steps up. Yeah. This place is just, the energy from this city is just amazing. You walk down the street and you can feel it. Yeah. You walk past every theatre, you can feel it. You walk past every restaurant and bar. It's got a buzz about it, and I love it. And it feeds you when you're on stage. And our show is a fun show. It kicks off to a real vibrant start, and I think the audience will know that they're in for a good time, and they'll know what to expect.
And then us going into the world of hip hop and grime, I think it's brave. But I think they'll get it, don't you?
We're not doing anything like that, and Michael will not speak as much as he has on this interview. I promise you.
Yeah, you believe that.
Well, my final question for both of you. Okay. We have so many actors and young singers who want to start out in this business. What is the best bit of advice that each of you have been given that you live by with your career?
Basically, to behave professionally, to turn up knowing your words, to be good off stage as well as on. because you'll be working. It's so important to be part of a team, to know you're just one part of the whole thing, and that if one element isn't up to speed, then everything will fall around it. So to be good to people, to bring out the best in people and bring the best that you have, and realize it's a shared experience and relish. And God, are we ever privileged to be able to do it? So never take it for granted.
Great advice. Alfie?
I think just to work on your ability, really hone in your craft, and enjoy it. You know, that's what we do it for. We do it because we want to enjoy it. You know, and if we're enjoying it, then the audiences are going to enjoy it. So just go out and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and surrender to your darkest dreams. Purge your thoughts of the life you knew before.